We are live. Live on Saturday. Saturdays are for the big dogs. You already know what time it is. We are in here, and I'm pulling up the comments because of all the things I need to see. The comments are the most important. That's you all. We got Dylan Moore. Chubb is back. Unfortunately, right behind my big old head, you can see he's not back for the Browns, but he is back. Nicholas Chubb. I'm still rooting for him, though, all the way down in Houston. What's going on, Dylan? What is going on, everybody? How are we doing today, man? Football's back, but the real football, the NFL season, is the actual season, not the preseason, is right upon us. We're picking up, man. Let's get to it. Allen, favorite pick in full PPR, Superflex, redraft league. Are you meaning like what's my favorite selection spot, or like is it just a redraft? What's my favorite pick for the season, like a specific player? I could probably give you both, one of each. I think this year I kind of like it. Well, in Superflex, it kind of throws a wrench, but I think I want to have something towards the middle to back end. I think in the middle, the reason I feel that way is because like 106 maybe, I'm going to get one of the 4 Konami-style rushing quarterbacks, or I could still get one of the elite receivers would be the way I would answer that. So like 106 or 107 would be the spot. Yeah, selection spot. 106, 107. Because I'm basically going to walk away with a Chase or, one of those elite quarterbacks. For me, I know there's a lot of, stuff out there about the toe with Malik Neighbors. I think Malik's about to absolutely go crazy this season. So he would be someone I'm considering in the 106, 107, 108 spot as well. But I can get my selection of an elite quarterback, and also Bijan would be in that mix, right? One of the elite running backs. That's where I'm at. And then on the turn, it's not going to be quite as long of a wait as it would be at the front of the 101. Let me know if that makes sense and if that's what you were looking for. Yeah, so I have Dylan. I think this is your team. Let me know if that's correct or not. But Dylan, I have your team ready to go. So if you're with us, cool. And if you're not, well, we're going to review it anyway. You guys got to watch. So this was a question that Dylan asked me earlier to take a look at this team. So we'll go to the lab right now. And this is what he told me was this is year 3 of the rebuild for him. And it's way too early for this league where I'm in the middle. And he wants to know if he should compete and what to do with 5 quarterbacks. So we got a little quarterback horde. Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily. Well, we do have 5 quarterbacks. I wouldn't call them starters necessarily. But so I'm looking at this team, Ball or Dynasty. This is the one. If you want me to look at a different one, let me know. And it is you. All right, Dylan, we're here. So let me know if this is the correct team or not. But I'm just going to start with this one because I think this is what you wanted me to look at. Got Caleb Williams, Quinshon, Travis Etienne. We've got BTJ, Emeka Egbuka, Rome. Like this is definitely the start of a team that you would like to be. That makes sense given what you told me, right? It's a lot of young players. There's it's not anywhere near necessarily a locked-in contender, but you can see the direction heading on the up and up. Tyler Warren, Brandon Ayuk, Trey Harris, P. Law, Dimes, Trey Lance, Jaden Blue. The bench is Brashard Smith, Zamir White, Raheem Sanders. Nothing too crazy on the bench. Adonai Mitchell. Bunch of Mari Cooper. Okay. And let's see what you got with picks. All right, this is what all right, you're in a great spot. I was getting a little worried, and now I see where all the value's stored. 2026 first, you got 4 of 12. So we are looking at a third of the draft picks are sitting with you. So now here's the other question. Do you have any – are all these teams, so B. Mueller or B. Mule, we got P. Douglas. Where's P. Douglas at? Is P. Douglas one of these? Oh, P. Douglas, you got a potential early one plus your own. And Harmlessly Fatal. That's like this stream. Harmlessly Fatal. Man, you got – I love the picks that you have there, and you also have 2 in 2027. To be completely honest with you, I think this is one of these teams where how do I put this best? I think you're in a great spot. I probably don't think this team has realistically has the juice to compete this year. as much as I would love for that to be the case for you, and I'm sure you wish it was the case, there's a lot of things that need to happen for a lot of different players, I think, here to take a big step forward for it to be truly contending this year. So I think I'm probably of the mindset that I'm playing with the idea of I'm going to compete next year. Now, if all those things come to fruition, right? Like let's say Rome ends up taking the big leap that I expect them to, Meka Ibuka with Godwin sidelined, or Evans possibly missing some more time. Like if these guys all take that step together and your team is clearly a contender, okay, now you can push those 26 picks in. But I'm probably looking to move for players like ETN if he ends up being the RB1 when there's a little bit of a value bump, right? Just kind of get off of an asset like him with the idea of I'm trying to compete in 2026 and kind of aligning all my chips, whether it's draft picks and players that are on the younger side, to compete next season. Because even if all those things happen, like when I look at your bench and I look at I don't want to move off of draft picks that you have. I think you have a ton of leverage built up there. And I think at this time right now, the way people are valuing 2026 picks, it'd be counterintuitive. I don't think you would get the returns to make your team the best and most optimal to compete this year. So I think I'm probably slow playing this season. If I end up being a contender out of left field, so to speak, then great. But otherwise, I'm trying to kind of make this a team where I'm competing next year. And when the draft comes around, right, having these 4 picks plus maybe a couple more, around that time you can decide if you want to select the rookies or probably what I'd be doing is moving draft picks to get more secure veterans here and there to make this team much more of a contender for next season. But I think right now it's still a little bit away, and with what you have already in draft picks, I'm probably holding on. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, you're in the baller. This is my 3rd-year rebuild. Way too early is the 5 starting QB. Oh, okay, I got you. All right, so that makes sense. So maybe I just misheard or misread the text. In this league, I have an active trade of Caleb, Douglas, Jaden Blue for Hurts. Ooh. Which pick is it then? This is an interesting one. Which pick is it? The 126 picks. Let me go down and see. Is it the P. Douglas one? I mean, it's not. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking Douglas was like. In my head, I was thinking Pop Douglas or some player. You're saying it's Douglas's first for P. Douglas's first. Yeah, okay. It's not crazy. I don't know. I think I probably would. Lenora Sellers to me is the reason that I have a hard time doing this, because I think his value, and if he ends up coming out next year, which I think is pretty likely and something that very realistically could happen, I feel like it might be a slight overpay. But Jaden Blue equates to nothing here for me. So I don't mind it at all, honestly, if you wanted to do this, even whether you wanted to contend or not. I'm just the reason I say I might want to hold off is I think, let's say that Lenora Sellers or whatever the 26 early pick, those players become more defined. I think you could get a similar trade here where it isn't Jalen Hurts. Let's say it's someone you'd rather have a little bit more, like whether it's Jaden Daniels or Lamar or Josh Allen personally. So that would be the reason I might say hold off, but I have no problem making that trade. It's reasonable for sure. Just let me real quick see. Are we looking at start 10 or 11? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Yeah. It's a good ass offer. I don't mind it either way. I think I probably would say no at the moment, knowing it's something I could get done. The reason I say that is, like, if I was trying to contend with this team right away, or if that's something you still would like to do, push the contention window up a little bit, I think definitely. Like, if I'm trying to contend this year, I would definitely make that move. I just don't think that I am ready quite to contend with this team yet, and I think that if I'm not contending right now, that 2026 pick is going to accrue enough value to where I could still get this trade later, or possibly a little bit more for it. So that's the reason I say that. And that's the other thing, too. That's a great point. I was actually going to say this, but when I was just thinking about other things. Yeah, Rome and Caleb, that stack is nice. And I think if you're betting on Ben Johnson, like if Caleb has a big year, even him being part of this trade, there's a chance you're kind of selling a little bit light on him, too. So I'll probably hold on to it, man. I think right now you're in a great spot. Guys like Ayuk, if there's a sell window throughout the season, I'd probably be looking to try to move guys like Travis Etienne, and other players throughout the year. If there's a value bump that you think makes sense, I would move on from them. Guys like maybe even a Quinchon. But by and large, I think you kind of have the recipe for a pretty good core group that's ready to go by next year when you add in all those picks and all the value you have for show. How do I send my Dynasty team in? Okay, Alan, just so do this. Let me know what your sleeper username is, and then tell me what league you'd like me to look at. So you give me your sleeper username, and just I'll give you a quick rundown here as well. So this is the lab. It's a free tool. It's a South Harmon tool. You actually can't see. I can see on the screen share. You can't see my text bar, but it's the-lab.southharmonff.com. And when you go there, you would type in your sleeper username. And I just do that here on screen share so that I can see your entire league and all the teams in it. So this is a tool that I use, especially when trying to help people and get a whole view of their league. And this is something I use for my own leagues as well all the time. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, need your idiot league mates strategy. Yep. YIL, your idiot league mates. This is a Jared Hall, man. I know who this is. You guys see that? That's not Vince Wilfork. That's Sexual. The USA version of Sexual. It's my enemy. I love Sexy, actually. It's pretty cool to get to meet him finally in person. But I will give you my strategy once you see it in the bag. Sexual Steen. I love this fucking avatar, this Vince Wilfork, man. If you know, you know. So yeah, Alan, that's how you send it in. Love it, and I agree, broski. Okay, my man. Dylan Moore, us Browns got to stick together. Browns fans, we're the only ones we got. So I'm gonna go off the screen share, and if you do though, like Alan or anybody else, if you want me to pull up your league, oh wait a minute, we're back. Adequate Dynasty revamp. Okay, so I'm imagining you're saying adequate is your username. That's adequate. This should be adequate information. Let's see. Bam. Look at that. Dynasty revamp with a diamond on it. Shine bright like a diamond. All right, so let's see what you're working with. We got Kyler Murray, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Got the Lions backfield, Jamar Chase, Travis Hunter, TJ Hockenstein. We've got Rashi Rice, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, Justin Fields, and A. Rich, and Shador. Danny Dimes, Russell Wilson, Jameis. Damn. You've got a lot of Giants and ex-Giants right there. Mason Rudolph. Okay, how many are we starting? Got 3 flexes. This is probably 10 still as well, right? It should be 10. Yeah, start 10. Okay. Bench also includes James Conner, Trevor Etienne, Sean Tucker. This is a good team, man. This is a really good team. Calvin Ridley, Debo Samuel, Pop Douglas. We got Michael Wilstein. Got a couple older guys down here. Ray McLeod. Shout out to your idiot league mates. Sexual Nose. Ray McLeod. Dylan, I got your question starred, and I don't mind looking at all. All right, so I think this is a good team. I mean, it's Kyler. So your quarterbacks are. I think if you look at the quarterback room in Superflex, right, this could leave a lot to be desired, but I think Kyler Murray, even if he's not the greatest NFL quarterback, he's still slightly above average for and he still offers the Konami code rushing ability. He's not like a cheat code quarterback like some of the other rushers, but I think he offers something on the ground. And then either one of Fields or A. Rich, while who knows how long they really are going to last as starters, they're going to offer elite rushing numbers when playing. So I like your quarterback room, although it's probably very long-term wise, like not very secure assets. But, I mean, Gibbs and Montgomery is fantastic. You got Chase and Hunter is elite. Rashi Rice, whether it's Hunter or Rashi Rice as your wide receiver 3s, well above average. Downs at 4. I think even Jaden Reed as your wide receiver 5 in that flex spot, extremely boomer bust, but given the rest of your team, could work out really well. I'm probably, with a team like this, especially with some of the rookies, if you wanted to, like James Conner is making my lineup early. This just organizes your starters by keep, trade, cut, starting value. That's what this number is. It's just inserting keep, trade, cut. So this isn't what you're necessarily starting on a weekly basis, but like week 1 Connor's in my lineup somewhere. Calvin Ridley, I think probably right now is going to be in my lineup too. So yeah, I think you're in a great spot. You have all your picks. I think you're probably going to be just naturally one of the best teams in the league as I'm looking at this. Let's see what some of the other your competition's really working with. No, is this right? I mean, this dude doesn't even have a second quarterback. Tank Bigsby, Jalen Milroe. Okay, he's got Geno. All right, there it is. See, and that's what I'm talking about with the keep, trade, cut, starting value. Keep, trade, cut really says in a Superflex league that Tank Bigsby's more valuable than Geno Smith. That's crazy to me. Anyway, this team's nothing super scary. I mean, it's a good team. Has some really good assets at the top. Neighbors and CDs elite. Trey McBride, but I would rather have your team than his team personally, I think. Let's see how this team at the top is. BTJ, JSN, Lamar, Jackson Dart. Like these both of their quarterback 2 is kind of sketchy and very you don't have much depth. I think you might have one. I think you might have the best team in the league. Now, as far as if this was my team, some things to consider I would be looking to try to do. I like Downs. I want to make sure here it's full PPR. Hey, Matt Higgins is here. All right. What's poppin', man? I think as long as this is full PPR, I still don't mind flexing Downs. But I think what I'd be trying to do with this type of a team, it's going to cost you, I think, way too much for what it's going to be worth, at least this year, to really upgrade the quarterbacks from what you have. I think what I would like to do is probably find a way to consolidate would be ideal, or to send in draft picks as the season's going along to really boost these flex spots. I don't know necessarily as well what Travis Hunter is going to actually equate to points per game wise, and if he's actually going to be like a difference maker truly in fantasy in year 1. So like I'm looking to probably upgrade 1 or 2 of these flex spots. Consolidation, like can I send James Conner once the season's in flow, or Calvin Ridley, someone like that, with a Jaden Reed, and upgrade that type of a position. Because I think if you had a 4th receiver that's more in the range of a Hunter, Rashi Rice, like, can I get to a T. Higgins? Can I get to I think someone that you're contending with has a Zay Flowers, but a slight upgrade there I think would be huge. Even if it's not a younger player, like could I get a DJ Moore? I think something like that would be what I'm probably looking to do to tighten this team up at the top, personally. I'm probably letting the risky quarterbacks that you have take a shot. Honest opinion of outlook. Honesty opinion of Sanders' outlook. I know it's early. I think this is a tough question. I mean, I think he looked good. I think he looked really good, actually, in that preseason game. I don't want to take anything from him. I think right now there's still how many games is he going to play? There's a lot of other quarterbacks on the roster at the moment. And I think it's going to be different in the regular season, real games, than it would be, in the preseason. So it looks good. It's a great start for where he's at. And also, let me just say this. As you can see in the background, barely back there, I'm a Browns fan. I'm cautiously pessimistic when it comes to all things Cleveland. So I think he's looked great so far, and I think he's done a good job handling his reps and the situation he's in. So I got nothing negative to say about him personally. It's just that I don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, so to speak. I'm a little bit I'm cautiously pessimistic on anything Cleveland Browns. All right, so but Alan, let me know, by the way, if that makes sense, if there's some offers that you have out there that you wanted to discuss. And I'm going to move on to another team, but if you have other things you wanted me to discuss about your team, I got you, buddy. That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for y'all. All right, so Dylan Moore says, do you mind looking at way too early? Yeah, I got you. So let me just trying to remember here. It was Dylan David. There it is. Dylan David Lee. Okay. We're going back to Way too early. All right, way too early. We got you. Got you, big dog. Way too early for this. Man, it's crazy. I was reading his text, and when you said way too early for this, I don't want to say I stopped reading, but that let me know when I'm reading that meant that it was part of the discussion and you evaluating your team to me. Like, it's way too early for this. I did not think that was a league name. All right. So in way too early for this, 9th, Jaden Daniels at the top. Always love to see that. David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Tet McMillan, Mike Evans, Keon Coleman, David Njoku, Trey Harris, Jacoby Myers, Joe Burr. We got T-Law. We got Dak. This is the 5 quarterback league that you were talking about. Dak Prescott, Justin Fields. Okay. So you've got a quarterback horde going. But I guess when I'm looking at this, you also have Shedeur. So we'll pivot over. Allen, see, even Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore's a Browns fan, by the way. We have that in common. So he's got Shedeur. He's got Malik Willis. To me, though, this is a team that has a quarterback horde, which means that's where a lot of your value is. You're looking to try to move off of them or wait for the right time to where someone needs quarterbacks. But this team looks like it's kind of in an identity crisis, I would say, right? Like, it doesn't look like a contender. It has a couple young pieces, like Tet's a young piece, Keon, Trey Harris, but like a lot of these pieces truly need to be on a contender, and I'm not sure that you're there yet. So that's one of the things that can happen in a quarterback horde because you just have so much value locked in there. Let's see what you got. All your picks. Unfortunately, rest in peace, my Noah Fant take and all of our Noah Fant shares. He's in Cincinnati now. Normal share, normal all your normal picks. So let me ask you then. Speaking of Browns, am I wrong to love Harold Fannin Jr.? No, actually. So crazy thing. So I was at the expo last weekend. I was trying to stream, and there was an internet outage where I was at. Actually, Harold Fannin's parents were at this Friday party I was at watching the game in Canton, Ohio, and he's from Canton, Ohio. That's where the Fantasy Football Expo is. So that was kind of crazy. Did not expect to see while watching the Browns' first preseason game Harold Fannin's parents there. But no, you're not wrong to love him. I mean, I'm very worried about like what his realistic fantasy and dynasty ceiling can actually be, especially with Njoku there. Like, Stefanski's always wanted to run a lot of 12 personnel and has a lot of dual tight end sets, but it just feels like it's a limited upside. The upside is capped, I should say, is what it feels like with him. But you're not wrong to love him. I also think, like, if you really go look at one of the things when it comes to tight ends for me, I look at RAS score, and his RAS score really isn't all that impressive, frankly. So there's some reasons to be concerned as well. Sorry to give you some pessimism, but you're not wrong to love him. I like him. I'm not to love him in fantasy and dynasty is, I think, a little bit too much for me personally. Flip Trey, yeah, I'm with that too. Flip Trey Harris if you can. I'm concerned, Maddie. Are you concerned about Trey? I am. Oh man, Maddie. You know what? We can. I don't have it prepped like I wanted to, but we can look at the Debbie League. Time is it 2:26? Yeah, we could do that. If you want to give me the draft, you're gonna have to fill in a lot of the gaps as far as what the players are. So possibly. If we don't, we'll I promise you we'll look at it next week, and I'll make sure to get all the info for you. So when I'm looking at this team, though, I kind of feel like it's got an identity crisis. So what I was trying to say also, Dylan, is can you give me where you're at with this team? Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once. Get back on track here. With this team, what is your thought process, or where are you at with it? And then I'll give you accordingly, the best way to proceed if you have a direction you're trying to go. Or if you're just looking for advice, you don't have a lane, or you're stuck with this team. You're not sure what to do with it. Oh, okay. That would be dope, Matt, if you could send me the spreadsheet of the Debbie picks, yes. And the reason I say that, though, Dylan, is when I'm looking at this team, like, I know you got the quarterback horde going, and you have to wait. You're waiting on the timing to be right to move them. So that makes a lot of sense. But if I'm not contending, which I really don't think this team is truly a contender personally. I mean, dude, Jaylen Warren, rest in peace, the upside from him personally. I'm not saying he won't be usable in any capacity, but I don't think it's going to be the free Jaylen Warren season. And there's just nothing on this team that makes me think you have a locked-in running back too. I'm looking to move Trey Harris probably. But pieces like, for example, if you're not going to contend, pieces like Mike Evans, pieces like David Montgomery, they have to go. Like those are in the season. If we're not contending, they have to go. So, and the only way I think you contend with a team like this is if you move quarterbacks and flip these values, right? You got Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, like flipping some of that quarterback value from the quarterback position into skill players so that you have a better rounded out team. So I guess the reason I say that is typically if you're going to force, I need to move my quarterbacks for skill players, you'll end up losing out. Like you'll end up bleeding some value in that trade, which if that's what you're planning to do, you can do that. But yeah, okay. All right. So you're stuck. All I needed to hear, buddy. I just want to make sure like I don't start giving you a way that I would address this team if you're telling me that you're not going to do that or you have a plan already in place. So here's what I'm doing personally with this, right? I'll give you a few things, and I've been in quarterback hordes and I've dealt with this type of a scenario. I'm probably looking to, in the season, move off of Evans, move off of David Montgomery, to contenders when I'm going to get the most bang for my buck. I'm not going to try to sell for something that's unrealistic, though, because I don't want to end up being just stuck with these players. I feel like a lot of times what happens is someone's asking for, a first plus for Evans or even a regular first, right, just a generic first, and that's not what the market's going to give you, and then you end up just holding that asset and letting that asset die on your team. So if it has to be, 2 seconds and a third, whatever, you move on from that. It doesn't even have to be draft picks only, but I'm looking to get off of Evans and Montgomery in season because both of them are getting long in the tooth, so to speak. I'll tell you this. When I have a quarterback horde going, five quarterbacks I would consider a QB horde. If I have this going on, I think one of the ways that you kind of get stuck in a quarterback horde a little easier is you're saying, all right, I want to sell. You have Joe Burrow and you have Jaden Daniels, top 5 quarterbacks. So you're like, all right, well, I want to move Trevor Lawrence. I want to move Dak Prescott. I want to move Justin Fields. Sure. I'm not disagreeing with that. You'd love to keep Burrow and you'd love to keep Jaden Daniels. But see, realistically to me, what I have a quarterback horde going like this, I probably would make Jaden Daniels unavailable, let's say. And that'd be fine if you want to do that. But I'm willing to let anybody tell me what quarterback on my roster they want. So if Joe Burrow is going to net the biggest return and I can get out of Joe Burrow for full boat value, I'm okay now sliding Trevor Lawrence or Dak Prescott or Justin Fields into my quarterback 2 spot. And one of the things when you have a QB horde going is if you can – the first one that you move, it kind of sets the market and sets the precedence for the rest of the league that you're reasonable. You're willing to move them, and this is kind of what the cost looks like. So don't kind of make certain quarterbacks – don't make too many quarterbacks in the quarterback horde unavailable, and you're only wanting to sell the less desirable ones. So that's what I'm probably doing. I'm looking to see if I can move Joe Burrow. Personally in this one, if that's what's going to net me the best return. And I'm looking to get the ball rolling on moving quarterbacks off. So I don't think you're contending this year. And I think that what you could end up very easily doing with a team like this is just kind of letting the years pass by where you're stuck in the middle, right? Because you're trying to wait for the right opportunity to move the quarterbacks. You're trying to hold on and play that game. And you end up having guys like Mike Evans that are contenders on your team that eventually get too old. You haven't moved off of them for value, and they're not giving you value because you're not really a contender. So I'm looking to move off of the older assets on my team for whatever I can get. I'm looking to kind of retool with the idea of next year being my year, 2026. And I'm looking to move off of these quarterbacks at a fair market price, and I'm okay selling basically any one of them. If they want to come get Jaden Daniels and they're actually going to pay the full amount for Jaden Daniels, I'd probably be okay with that too. But It's just probably rare that someone's going to actually send you, that four first rounds plus range for Jaden Daniels straight up. So, but I'm not making any of my quarterbacks unavailable, and I'm looking to get the market, get my league to take these at a reasonable price. I'm not trying to bend everybody over to get the best deal. That's what I would say. All right. Does that make sense, Dylan? Hope that makes sense. Thoughts on trading Waddle for that same Dynasty league? All right, so let's go bike. Let's go bike to the adequate league. All right, so you're talking Dynasty revamp. All right, so you're saying thoughts on selling Waddle, on trading for Waddle. Okay. Thoughts on trading for Waddle. Yeah, actually, you know what? I don't mind. I don't like that. That's not what I meant to say. I don't mind that at all, actually. I've been, last year especially in the offseason, I was pretty pessimistic on Waddle, just relative to cost. I felt like it was a little bit rich. And there was, the Tua injury, him being injured at times. That just happened to happen. It wasn't the reason I was low. I think now, though, he's at a price where I'm very intrigued. His price has dipped quite a bit. Tyreek Hill, there's enough concern around Tyreek Hill and how long he's going to continue to play. I'd be into that. Who has Jalen Waddle? No, I think probably it's probably similar to a Reed, but I also think Waddle has proven far more than Reed has, and Waddle's been paid a king's ransom. So Waddle's viewed as a true one by them, and he can be that. So, to your point, yeah, he is kind of similar in that he's been boom or bust, but I think Waddle has much more upside than Jaden Reed does. So, who has him? And I guess I would be interested. Is there a reason? Have you talked to someone? Have you talked to the owner? No stopping me, sleeper. All right. He's got A.J. Brown and T. Higgins, too, so it's not like you're asking for his top receivers. I think I would be into that, man. I'll tell you the truth, though. I just as much I'd probably be even slightly more interested in getting like a Smitty, but he might not be interested in doing that. Oh, definitely not. He's got the Hurts stack with Smitty and Brown. Okay. So, yeah, I would be very interested in doing that, trying to see if I can acquire Waddle. Here's the thing. The team that you have, I think, is pretty well built. Like, I'd probably be willing to send a first straight up for Waddle if that's what it would take, and I'd be willing to do it now. But I don't know what the Eagles fan, so it's hard. Yeah, no, I could see. I was even just going off of the stack situation. Like, if I had a stack of Hurts, Smitty, and A.J. Brown, I'd be a lot less likely to give up either one of those players. But then if you build in that he's an Eagles fan, I mean, you can kiss that goodbye. So Waddle would be the correct play. Yeah, I think so. My man, Matty Higgins. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, of course, man. That's what I'm here for, buddy. I hope you mean that, because that's what I'm here for. Anytime, my dog. Wait a second. Did I? Oh, no, you are. Okay, that's where I was before. Phil. What's up, Phil? Oh, he's on the trade block? Yeah, Alan, let's make this happen, buddy. Tell you what, let me know if you can still do it on stream. I mean, just hit him with a DM or hit him with an initial offer, what you think is fair. See if we can make something happen. Let's make a trade today. Tyler is wondering. He's wondering if you could take a look at my team. Let me know what you think overall. First time playing fantasy, and I was dumb enough to join a 14-team Dynasty League. Well, goddamn, Tyler. First time playing fantasy, and you got to do a 14-team Dynasty. I will say that it's aggressive. That's aggressive. That's why you're here. I got you. All right? 14-team. Am I reading that correctly? This is your first time playing fantasy football, and you got into a 14-team Dynasty League. Tyler, I could kiss you right now. I love you. This is amazing. That's an aggressive start, my friend. 14-team has some crazy dynamics into it. It doesn't say Superflex, though, so I don't know. But let me just yes, I can look at your stuff. I got you. What is your sleeper? Is this in sleeper? And if so, what is your sleeper username? That's what I need for the lab. I got you, buddy. Let's give it up for Tyler, man. Tyler Brown. He said, yep. That's freaking amazing. Yeah, so you're in sleeper. Okay. I just need your sleeper username, and we'll get this thing pulled up. Landry squad. Is that for Jarvis Landry? I mean, we might. This could be an epic day. Landry squad. Okay. Save that. What do we have here? Let's go. Okay, so it's one quarterback, right? It appears to be. Let me just make sure. Yeah. All right. So Landry squad, 14 team. Now the kicker is there actually a kicker for everyone's team, or like does every team actually have a kicker, or was that just everybody drafted kickers for like placeholders? Just want to clarify on that. So you got Drake May, Jaden Daniels is where you'd love to have for a quarterback in any league. Tajay and Ray Davis at the top. Running back has a lot to be desired. Marvin Harrison, though, T. Higgins, Cole Kmet, Ricky P., Khalil Shakir, Dontavian Wicks. Okay. Yes, everyone has a kicker. All right, so we're playing with the kicker. The kicker's in the lineup. Phil, I'll tell you this. I have not. It's interesting. I haven't. But not my brain's turning on a few different ideas, but I appreciate the thought. I haven't, and yeah, making it a little more interactive from that standpoint. I hear you for sure. I got some thoughts on it, and I might get with you later on that. Okay, year 2 draft is tomorrow. Wait a minute. So you're saying you got your rookie draft tomorrow? Is that right? Wait a minute. Is that? Oh, that could make sense. I don't think I saw any rookies from this class in this draft. All right. So you got your rookie draft tomorrow. Is that right? Let me just make sure I don't see any rookies here. All right. Sweet. Oh, and yes, you do, because you got you don't need to answer that. 102, 108. All right. You got 102, 108, 302, 308, and 402. Nice. Rookie draft still happening. Let's go. So 102, one quarterback's obviously going to be Genty. Superflex would be Genty, but 102 I think should be either Hampton or Tet or Hunter. Yeah, no, I didn't say you were either, but no, I haven't, and it's an interesting dynamic though. That's right. Okay, yeah. So rookie draft tomorrow. Let's go. You're in the right place. You're definitely in the right place, and I love still thinking about what a rookie draft would look like here. 108 is probably in a one quarterback format. You know, like still a pretty good pick though. I think you're gonna have a chance to get maybe a Harvey. Like I think there's a chance you could actually clean up this running back room completely. If at 102 you elected to go Hampton, I think at 108 you could get, with the news now, I mean, it might feel early, but like Quinshawn's probably likely to be there. Harvey, Caleb Johnson. Yeah, this team could look a lot better already just there. I still think though, realistically. So wait a minute, did you have a rookie draft? Has this league played at all? Or did you have a startup this offseason? Or was this really what took place last year? It's my last question. You're targeting Hampton. Yeah, I was going to say you don't have to force a second running back. Like if Igbuka's there at 108, I'm drafting Igbuka at 108 in a Superflex league. So if he's available for you at 108 in this draft, my gut kind of tells me that he might go just in front of you. But if he's there, I would 100% agree with that pick. I love where your head's at. And then, in the third, there's a lot of running backs. It was a question in the Discord right before this started, like guys like DJ Giddens, Jarquez Hunter. These type of guys will be in the third round. Jordan James, et cetera, and at the 402 as well. So you could definitely improve your team a lot this rookie draft. I still think when I look at it, I still think we're still a ways out, realistically. Even if you add a Hampton, like if I'm just looking at this roster thinking, let's even just add in Igbuka for the sake of argument. To me, it's still probably thin in a league format like this. So we're probably playing for 2026 as well. That's the theme of today. We're playing for 2026. So the startup was last year. Okay, so you earned the 102 last year. All right. Hey, Phantom Bowling. Yo. We got everybody in here, man. What's going on, everybody, today? Saturdays are for the big dogs. You already know what it is. So yeah, I don't. This isn't rocket science or news to you. This team wasn't good last year. Earned the 102, I think. And then I think the 108 is going to be a really good foundational piece for this team. But I kind of imagine in a 14-team league. Yeah, I mean, like this team at the top here is really fucking pretty good. HN, Nacua, JSN, Brock Bowers, JMO, George Pickens, and got Jalen Hurts. So I'm not saying that everyone's team is as good as that, but yeah, this team, there's some pretty damn good teams in this league. So I think the play for you probably is to play for next season. I mean, obviously, if everything broke right, that'd be great. Like if Ricky P ends up being a huge difference maker, Khalil Shakir still sneaky. You add in Igbuka or whatever else at 108. But I'm looking at your bench and saying to myself, there's just there's a realistic chance that there's not a single player on this bench that ever is meaningful in any capacity ever again for fantasy football. Not that they were necessarily before, but I'm not trying to blast your team. It's more so that I think the smart play would be to be playing for 2026. And I think what that really means is like in a 14-team league especially, because it's not that you don't want studs in a 14-team league, but depth actually is a lot more important in a 14-team league when you're spreading players across that many teams. And most teams, like even the ones at the top, I'll just give you some – even the best teams in 14-team typically have more holes, right? So like Jalen Warren, Brian Robinson, really not that desirable in your starting roster. And then on the bench, there's nothing that you have that's really – there's nothing that this team has that's going to be able to go into that flex spot and be like, oh, okay, that's really dope. Maybe whatever you took at the 114. But my point is that in a 14-team league, you can actually end up winning by more down tiers and having more options and being a very strong team without crazy superstars at the top all over the place. But you're like for example, in this league, a Jacoby Myers in a flex spot could be a huge difference for some of the teams that are contending, right? So what I'm probably looking to do with that said is during the season, some of your really desirable players, like a Marvin Harrison Jr., if he's having some really great games, or, T. Higgins, if his value stays high, can I split that asset? Can I trade T. Higgins away for, it's probably pretty aggressive, but in a 14-team league, you never know, 2 firsts, right? Or something in that range, a first and a really nice piece as well. I think that's probably how you're going to get there. I'll say because it's only one quarterback, I'd probably be looking to hold on to Jaden Daniels. I think he's probably going to be a cheat code, and it's really hard to get the elite Konami code quarterbacks in any format. And then in one quarterback, they don't typically get as valued. They're not typically valued as high in one quarterback as they would be in Superflex. So it's probably whatever you're going to be able to get in a return for Jaden Daniels, he's probably worth more to your team. So I think that's what I'd be trying to do personally. And then even Hampton probably comes into the consideration of that too. If Hampton has some, 2 weeks in a row where he's looking really great and he's flying up Dynasty rankings and he's, top 4, he's already probably a top 5 or 6 running back as it is. But if he's values going up, I'm probably looking to split an asset like him as well. I think that's how you're probably going to get closer to the contending window for next season. Let me know if that makes sense. And if you have other questions around that, I got you. Okay. Didn't see this part. Yes, I earned the 102 last year. Definitely not looking to extend this year. Oh, you do? Oh, you're okay. Well, we're already there. I'm so worried about the rookie draft you're in. Boom, you're already there. You're in a much better spot than I thought. So you don't have to force trading off of a Hampton then. Not that I wouldn't still be interested, but with the depth that you had, not knowing you had 3 firsts in 2026, I thought it was a lot more crucial to multiply assets. I think you're in a better spot here with that being said. Where are these teams at? Could these potentially be early picks? Oh my. Could it be? Pog Whisper looks to be nice and ripe. And J Crew 13 is a middle of the pack team. Yeah. You're in a great spot, man. So all the things I said still remain true, but you're in a much better spot than I thought you are. Love what I'm hearing, and let me know. I hope some of that stuff helped you, and I think you're in a really good spot, man. Okay. Phantom. Would you move off Rice for Golden in 2 early first? Oh, sorry, 2 early seconds. Is this a specific league here on the lab, Phantom, or is this just a generic question? I was going to pull up your team. My full rebuild team. Okay. All right, here it is. He's ahead of me. Got you. I'll take care of it for you. I'll handle it from here. DQ Sharks. And we're looking at the midlife. Is that, you saying I'm going through a midlife crisis? Is that what you're saying? I respect what you did there, Phantom. You didn't sneak it by me. I get it. I respect it. You know? What's wrong with this guy? Trying to do streaming with kids and a family. Midlife crisis. Where is your team at? Hold on a second. Am I tripping? Are you way towards the bottom? Okay, here you are. All right. So, would you move Rice for Golden in 2 early seconds? Okay, hold on a second part here. I also just traded Adunze and Reed for Keon Coleman, Spears, 27 first and seconds. Like I would have Reed over Coleman, but similar enough you could maybe cancel. Adunze for a 27 first, a second, and Spears. Damn it, Phantom. I don't love it, but I get it. To be blunt. This feels light. And let me tell you why, but listen, what's done is done. We can't fix anything that's already done. This is a lineup, super shallow lineup. Is it one quarterback too? That's what it looks like to me. One quarterback. We're starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start 8, right? So this is why, like, so the warp tool is actually pretty good for stuff like this. I'm not going to go through the warp tool on this specific one right now. Maybe for another day, I'll pull up the warp tool as well to show you why. I think format is really important to consider for any question like this. That's why I like to pull up the specifics in your league. Like, so we're starting 8 players. All right. So splitting assets like last time I was talking about in a 14-team league. Now, while this is still 12-team, we're only starting 8 players. So to me, Rashi Rice is closer to, for what we think about him and know about him, and everyone's obviously different on how they view the player Rashi Rice, but to me, he's more of a difference maker type of a player, right? Closer to the elite tier than anything else. And with that being the case, like Golden already, I think there's reasons to be excited for him, but he's not a lock. Far from a lock, as a matter of fact. And then the 2 early seconds, like I like that, but it kind of feels like we're taking on risk. And the reason I say that is, sure, Golden could end up being a really nice player, and that ends up working out. And the 2 seconds, they're good value. But Rashi Rice, if he has some good games, right, at some point, especially with what we know about his situation now, early in the year, if he has some really good games and showing, like he's picking up right where he left off, that's a piece in when we're only starting 8 players, that's elite, right? That's a A-tier type player. Golden is going to have a lot of things break right to become as desired and to be as meaningful as a Rashi Rice would. In the seconds, they're never going to be viewed as elite assets. That draft pick never will be that, right? So to me, it's like, I get the bet, but it kind of feels like I'd rather get 2 players, or I'd rather tier down to a player that's higher than Golden, or I'd rather get a first in Golden than the 2 seconds. I think it's worth trying to shoot that way, given the fact that we're only starting 8 players. Because, for example, a guy like Adonai Mitchell, right? Adonai Mitchell very well could have been in this format, an early second type of a player. And if you draft that player and you have that asset crater, now you only have 2. Right? I feel like feel like the assets are a little bit too low as far as where they're valued. And then the last part of this, which when you told me you move Rome, I didn't have the context now, but now I do. Now moving off of Rashi Rice, that's the last big, elite juggernaut. Like he's going to command a haul type of asset you have left. Now if you move off of him for this package especially, like that's why I wouldn't want to do it, because now you have nothing else on your team that's people are going to come asking for. People are going to come willing to pay the moon for. No one else on your team offers that. So you now are left with only pieces that are going to command stuff like an early second and Goldens. And so I'm not looking to move Rashi Rice off for this at that very moment, if that makes sense. Rashee was wide receiver 7 on KTC before the injury. There you go. So, I mean, yes. Okay, here you go. If you view him as a top 5 receiver asset, to me, there's no chance. There's just no chance. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Especially in one quarterback where, to me, the wide receiver position is the most important in Dynasty. I need let's see, hold on. Before I answer that. Dude won't move off of his first because he's a bad team. It's fine. This is what you tell him. Hey, listen, appreciate you coming in. There's all kinds of other stores you can go shop at down the street. If you want to change your mind, we'll be here. You don't have to make this trade right now. Don't do this. And do with my 27 first won't swap. I offer more. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, this is a team. Yeah, you're down your 27 first too. Yeah, don't do this, dude. I beg of you. I'm pleading with you. Please don't do this. Yeah, I know you got first and stuff. It's just more so, to me, knowing the season is right around the corner. Rashi Rice is the piece that I'm willing to bet on. There's going to be some time where he looks really good, and I'm looking to sell in that moment of the season. See, because what you don't want to have during the season, in all those months, with a team like this is a bunch of, I have to go work my ass off to sell this player to you, right? Like, how many people really are not going to be all that excited, even if there's some good games, for the Rhino, right? For Nick Chubb. They're going to be coming to buy low on all these players. So to me, that's the one piece in season. When the season comes around and the football is officially back, right? The regular season's around, people start spending picks, things that they have as far as assets on their team, for elite players that are performing really well. So Rashi Rice is the one that you have here. And I'm willing to bet that you'll be able to get a much different return. Even if the value's similar, I'm looking for a specific return for a Rashi Rice. So that's where I'm at with that one, my man. I know you do have a lot of first. Okay. Alan, would you move Rice in the 26 first? Is this for the same league as before? I'm just going to go ahead and just outright say no, though. So I would not do this. To me, tiering up at the receiver position is, I think, one of the more dangerous things to do. And I would be let me actually pull up your team here, Alan. I think you're adequate, right? Well, this trade isn't adequate on the side you'd be sending, I don't think. But I believe it's this one. Yeah, here you go. And you do have Rashi Rice, so I believe it's this team. Okay, so yes. Okay, so what I was talking about with your team, right? I would like to upgrade the flex spots past Rashi Rice, all right? And so, like, Downs and Jaden Reed would be two of the ones I would love to upgrade. Now, if I'm going to go to tier up from Rashi Rice, to me, the problem there is I think Rashi Rice is on his own, could offer, and has shown us the ability to be, like, in any format. I don't care what it is. Lineup start 7, lineup start 8. Especially in this format, we're talking 10. He's his own difference maker, right? So from that tier, I'm probably not really looking to tier up, if that makes sense. And then definitely the gap from Rashi Rice to Drake London, like range of outcomes. Just think about it this way. This is the way I like to think about it. Range of outcomes for Rashi Rice and Drake London, aside from, the suspension still and what's going to come down the pipe with that. removing that part, the only like there's a chance where when they're on the field from a points per game perspective, they offer the exact same thing realistically, and it might even go Rashi Rice's way. So I can't justify sending a first to up tier to that personally. Now, if I could get from like Josh Downs, Jaden Reed to T Higgins, cool. But frankly, if I had Drake London, I would be, if I'm on the other end of this, right? If I have a Drake London in this format, shoot, someone's sending me a 26 first, I'd be willing to go lower than Rice for sure, and I'd be willing to take on that. So, like Chase, Hunter, and Rashi Rice. Well, Chase, it's not even possible to tier it from Chase because most people have him as wide receiver 1. But Hunter and Rashi Rice are not assets that I'm personally looking to tier up from, if that makes sense, especially in this format. So, I don't know. I tried to explain. Does that make sense to you? And as to why, should I be trying to compete this year or blow it up? Phil Goat 24. That's a great question. Did you draft Arroyo over T. Ferg? If so, L. It's a good question. But, my man. All right, Phil. We changed the stream time for you. I think everybody, by the way, if you're here, I assume 2 p.m. is cool. I moved it today from 3 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. Phil said that would be better and more accommodating for him, and I was happy to do that. So is that cool for everyone here? And I'll go ahead and make sure. But if 2 o'clock's the way, that's good with me. Appreciate it, Alan. Glad it makes sense. I just wanted to make sure that you got where I'm coming from here. We'll close it out with Phil. We adjusted the time for him, and we'll let him and his team back clean up and be the walk-off home run. So Phil Goat, 24. All right. Is this it? Utica Dynasty? And should I be trying to complete this year or blow it up? All right. Well, Phil, let's take a peek here. I just drafted Hampton, Tet, Arroyo, Krosky, Merritt, and Giddens. Okay. Got you. All right. Let's take a peek here. He did say he drafted Arroyo over T. Ferg. Should be competing or trying to blow it up. So, I mean, listen, this organizes. So let me just show you as opposed to using my hand. How about I point to this right here, keep trade cut starting value. That is that is what it organizes it by. So it's using your starting lineup and organizing it by keep trade cut starter. So it's not an end all be all, but the fact that you're down here at 9 already makes me think, all right, we might have to have a pretty unique situation for me feeling really good about contending. Now I'm looking at it too. 1 quarterback, CJ Stroud, it's fine, just not a difference maker. That's cool. You just don't have a plus asset there, I would say. But we're in 1 quarterback, our starting running backs are Dobbins and Brooks. That doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. I like Garrett Wilson, but I don't love him. Same thing with DJ Moore. Lave McMillan. I mean, the one good news is, in my personal opinion, this ain't meant to be mean. Oh, okay, but we got 102 and 103. These late rookie drafts are throwing for a curve. So you add in a Hampton and a Tet, a Hampton and a Hunter here. Changes the dynamic. I'm trying to understand this though. Oh, you already said that. I see. They just haven't come to. You did say this right here. So they just haven't. Your draft's not finished, so they're not on the lab yet. So you got Hampton, you got Tet, Arroyo, Krosky, Merritt, Giddens. Okay. So let's throw Hampton in the mix here. We'll take obviously Brooks out, and we're gonna throw Tet in the mix. Bump McMillan out. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot closer to being a contender. I still think you're probably looking to blow it up. I'll be honest. Yeah, your draft hasn't finished. So the reason the lab doesn't have it yet is it has to wait until the draft is finished, and then all the assets will go away from draft picks to the names. That makes sense. I think I'm blowing it up, and I think you're good enough you could try to contend. But in general, I think Tet and Hampton. I just think Tet and Hampton, while they're great dynasty assets, they're not locked and loaded week one to be like fantasy difference makers, right? So if I think about that, like I think this team needs probably at least one, if not two, fantasy difference makers. Now down the stretch, Hampton and Tet both could very well be that, and they might be starting week one. That's absolutely not what I would be betting on. I don't think it's the right mindset or process to bet on that. So I think right now DJ Moore in season could sell for a haul. I think you could move J.K. Dobbins in season when he's getting a lot more usage than all the R.J. Harvey stands want to believe. Like I think there's enough on this team that you could move off of it and be in a much better position next year to be a true contender. Whereas I think right now this team's kind of teetering. So I'd be probably looking to blow it up. I think there's a chance that Garrett Wilson you still could sell for an elite haul at the right time. I mean, I already traded him and Fade the Fetal for Jordan Love, Luther Burden, and Jaden Reed. So I got Jordan Love, Luther Burden, Jaden Reed in a 12-team Superflex league. So I've seen people still pay 2 firsts for Garrett Wilson. So I think he's an asset that you also could move off of as well. For a haul. I'm not itching to move off of Garrett Wilson in this build because he could still very well be a very damn good receiver next year. But I think there's enough here you'll be in a much better position to compete next season. If you wanted to, I think you could. I look at the rest of your bench and I just don't think this team realistically, you don't have your 26 first. That changes some things. Who has your 26 first? This is my auction league that I told you about last week. Okay. All right, Phil. It's okay. We got to figure it out. This is what we'll close out on. We're a little over an hour, but we're in overtime. That's good. Who has your 26 first? And what is blowing it up is a lot harder if you don't have your first, right? So now we got to go to, okay. And this person has multiple picks. So they're not going to come off. They're not going to give you your 26 first back easy. What was the trade here? I mean, it can't go in reverse and fix it. But now the question makes a lot more sense. My bad. I should have checked that out earlier in the process here. The problem is blowing it up in effort to make next year better without your first it's not nearly as desirable. So then you might be better off trying to just what I'm not going to do in this scenario now is like start buying older veterans that have very short shelf life and don't give you long-term value. But I'm also trying to probably just see if I can get into the playoffs and contend because I don't have my first with the team you have. It's way more, and now it's a lot more convoluted. I think I probably try. I mean, if you're not able to get your first back for anything reasonable, I think I probably would try to just, hope that the fantasy gods are in your favor and try to contend and see what happens if you sneak in the playoffs. You traded AJB, Monty, 26 first. Oh man. Well, I mean, I just look at it like this, like 101 is what you got. Wait, did you then move off of 10, because you ended up drafting Hampton, right? So you moved 101 later on too to get 102, or 102 and 103 or something like that? I think I remember you telling me the details of this now. Actually, I do. You made that trade. Okay, so, I mean, what's done is done. It really, I was just kind of curious. Yeah, I think here, and this is the for the record, everybody listening or watching this is a contract league too, so it doesn't bake in the contracts. Yeah, I think without my 26 first, I'm probably trying to find a way to contend. You just don't. The idea of blowing it up doesn't make. I wouldn't, if I don't have my 26 first. I don't think this team needs to be gutted and blown up, and you don't have there's not the reward of blowing it up from making that 26 first an early pick and also getting Now, for example, you trade away Garrett Wilson for 2 firsts. Like, you still could. I'm still willing to make trades that are going to give me more dynasty value, like getting 2 firsts there. But baked into the reason I was basically saying I definitely want to blow it up is the fact that you're going to make that 26 first early. You not having that makes that a little less desirable. So, yeah, I remember this part of the trade now, Phil. That makes sense. So, yeah, I think if I'm you, I'm trying to find a way to toe the line of contending this year, making trades that are overall. The moves I'm making while trying to contend, though, are going to be a little bit rigid in that I'm not looking to get a bunch of old, crusty veterans, right? I'm trying to build this team, try to find a way to contend with the team that's building for the future. So I'm looking only to get assets that are like a Garrett Wilson would be fine. But, like, guys that are in their year 3, year 4. I'm not looking to go add a whole bunch of even DJ Morris to this team because you're probably going to be getting closer to those aging veterans are going to start going down in dynasty value, aren't guaranteed to produce, and there's a chance that you still need to rebuild. So I'm looking to keep this team young while also trying to contend. That would be the way I'm looking at it without my pick. So that's my answer, Phil. Everybody, we appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. NFL football season is basically right around the corner. It's right upon us. If you have any questions on any of these, put them down in the comments. Let me know. Yell at me. Let me know what you want me to answer of your teams. If you want to be a part of these streams, make sure you go over to bdge.co, become a Big Dog member. You get access to the Dynasty rankings that I have on the website, which are updated on a frequent basis. You get access to the Discord. You can ask all these questions to me, myself, as well as Nick, anybody else on the BDG squad, Sexual Patterson in here. If that's what you're into, asking Sexy for his advice. Love you, Sexy. You can do that over there. And you get to be a part of these live streams. If you are a big dog, you'll get the link to come join these in the future. I will be back here, same time, same place. I love y'all. We're out of here. Smooch.